Yes, people, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all South India student. How are you? Hope so you are good. I am also good. Good evening to all of you. Good evening to all of you. Yes, people. Good evening, Nehal, Meghna, Nidhi, Shailena, Manoj Raj. Good evening to all of you. So guys, in the last lecture, we were discussing about the appeals and revision topic. So appeal and revision, almost we have completed the topic. Some part is still pending. We'll do that part, okay? So let's start with the other concept of the appeal and revision. Some part is pending. So let's complete that part. So guys, some other concept of the appeal and revision. This other concept part is pending. Hope so you have completed some question. Hamanta, good evening to you. So let's start with the other concept. So guys, there is one section that section number is 158A. So there is one section that section number is 158A, and 158A is related to the special provision for the avoiding of the repetitive appeal. A special provision for the avoidance of the repetitive appeal. Now what this provision is, all people pay attention. We will take one example, and through that example we will understand this concept, that is avoidance of the repetitive appeal. I need your 100% attention here. So guys, for an example, there is one assessee. That assessee name is Miss Nehal. Suppose there is one assessee, name is Miss Nehal. Now, in case of Nehal, for an example, for assessment year 15-16, there was one case, and that case was related to the expenditure P. That expenditure P should be allowed or disallowed. That was one case. In case of the Nehal, there was one case that is related to the Nehal, and case was regarding the expenditure P. P is a name of the expenditure. Okay, that expenditure should be allowed or that expenditure should be disallowed. So that expenditure should be allowed or disallowed. That was the case. Now guys, and this particular case is now pending with the High Court or Supreme Court. Means this case is pending with the High Court or Supreme Court. AO disallowed this expenditure. Assessee says that it should be allowed, but AO disallowed this expenditure. So now this case is pending with the High Court or Supreme Court. Means obviously there is a question of law, and if there is a question of law, then it is pending with the High Court or Supreme Court. So this case is pending with the High Court or Supreme Court. Now guys, what happened? In case of the Nehal only, suppose for the next year, that is assessment year 16-17, again there is a question related to the expenditure P. Again there is a question related to expenditure P. Nehal says that this expenditure should be allowed, but AO says that this expenditure should be disallowed. So what AO will do? AO will disallow that expenditure. AO will disallow that expenditure. Now again in the assessment year 17-18, again there is a question related to the expenditure pay. AO will disallow that expenditure. Again in the assessment year 18-19. So guys, every year there is a issue related to expenditure P, and AO will disallow the expenditure. Obviously AO will disallow the expenditure. So when AO will disallow the expenditure, then assessee will again file the appeal to the CIT appeal. After that there is a ITET appeal. After that there is a High Court appeal. After that there is a Supreme Court appeal. So every year what happened? AO disallowed the expenditure. Assessee will file the appeal to the CIT appeal. After that ITET appeal. After that High Court appeal. After that Supreme Court appeal. So every year there is a repetitive appeal on the same matter. and that matter is related to the expenditure P. Assessee says that this expenditure should be allowed, department says that it should be disallowed, and this matter is already pending with the High Court or Supreme Court. Now guys, what happened here? Here assessee will request to assessing officer. Here assessee will request to the assessing officer, and assessee will say, okay, sir, you know that for the assessment year 15-16, expenditure P related case is already pending with the High Court or Supreme Court. Already pending with the High Court or Supreme Court. And sir, same issue arise in the assessment year 16-17, assessment year 17-18, assessment year 18-19, assessment year 19-20, assessment year 20-21. Sir, I request you that whatever the decision of this case, means whatever will be the decision of this case, just apply this decision for this year also. Just give me in the writing. Just make me one promise. Whatever will be the decision of this case, you will apply that judgment for this year also. Just give me the promise. Just give me in writing. And if you will give me in the writing, then I will not make the further appeal. I will not make the further appeal, means I will not appeal to the CIT appeal, ITET, High Court, Supreme Court. I will not make the further appeal for this year because case is identical. Issue is the similar issue. So just promise me that whatever will be the judgment of this case, you will apply for this year's also. And if AO will give you in the writing, okay, I promise you that whatever will be the judgment of this case, AO will apply for this year also. Then guys, assessee will not file any appeal. And in future, for an example, High Court, Supreme Court says that suppose this expenditure is disallowed, then obviously AO will not do anything because AO already disallowed the expenditure. Here AO will not allow the expenditure. AO will disallowed only. But suppose for an example, in this particular case, if High Court or Supreme Court allowed the expenditure. Suppose in this particular case, if High Court, Supreme Court allowed the expenditure, then AO will allow the expenditure for this year's also. Now your question is, okay, sir, why this is mandatory? Because guys, for an example, this case is pending for the assessment year 15-16. Suppose judgment in India, you know that High Court, Supreme Court judgment comes many times after 15 years, after 20 years, after 30 years also. Suppose judgment came in the assessment year 32-33. And suppose that High Court, Supreme Court says that expenditure should be allowed. Then obviously for this year it will be allowed. But what about the remaining year? What you can do? You don't have any remedies. You have the remedies only for the rectification. But rectification can be done for the maximum 4 years. Rectification can be done for the maximum 4 years. Rectification can be done for the maximum 4 years. Rectification can be done for the maximum 4 years. So obviously for the last 4 years, your expenditure you can allowed through the rectification. But for the earlier year, you don't have any remedies. That's why just guys request to the assessing officer and just ask him, okay, sir, just make us the promise in the writing. Okay, whatever will be the judgment of this case, you will apply this judgment for this year also. Then we will not make the further appeal. That is the section 158A. Now guys, suppose AO denied that. Okay, no, I will not give you in the writing. Then obviously you have to make the appeal to the CIT appeal. And just after that, just request to the CIT appeal, okay, sir, you just give us in the writing. Okay, you will apply this judgment for this particular case, then we will not make the further appeal. Suppose CIT also deny that, no, I will not give you in the writing, then you have to apply to the ITET. And guys, you have to request to the ITET, okay, sir, please give us in the writing that whatever the judgment of this case, you will apply for this year also, then we will not make any further appeal. But in the practical life, guys, AO will give you in the writing, don't worry about that. If case is identical, case is similar, issue is similar, then AO will give you in the writing. AO will give you in the writing. AO will give you in the writing. So there is no need to make any repetitive appeal. Done. Whatever given in section 158A, just read it. Whatever given in 158A, just read it. So what this particular point says that in case of assessee, one case is already pending with High Court, Supreme Court. And guys, another case of the another year, but the same issue is pending with the AO or CIT appeal or ITET appeal. And guys, You are just requesting them, okay, just give us in the writing, okay, whatever judgment of that case you will apply for this year also, then we will not make the further appeal. This is the section 158A. Just read it. Just read it. Done, people, done. Say done. Say done. Nidhi, Shubhashri, Hemant. Okay. Now there is a one section 158AB. There is a one section. And guys, to understand this section, I need your 100% attention here. Huh? To understand this section, I need your 100% attention. If you're not attentive here, then you will not be able to understand this section. Huh? I need your 100% attention here. Guys, what happened? Try to understand. Suppose in case of one assessee, that assessee name is, for an example, Nidhi. In case of the assessee name is Nidhi. Now, in case of assessee, or suppose any other person, either in case of assessee, our assessee is suppose Nidhi, or any other person, that other person name is suppose Mr. Sai. There is one guy name is Sai. So what happened? In case of assessee, that is Nidhi, or any other person, say Mr. Sai. Now what happened? In case of assessee or any other person, guys, suppose one ITET judgment is came, or any High Court judgment is came. So any ITET judgment, ITET means Income Tax Appellate Tribunal judgment, or High Court judgment came, and guys, that judgment was in the favor of assessee. That judgment was in the favor of assessee, means that judgment was in the favor of assessee. So in the favor of assessee. So can I say that in the favor of assessee, or you can say that the any other person? So basically it was against the department. So can I say that when it was against the department, then department will file appeal? So department file appeal to either High Court or Supreme Court, and today case is pending with the High Court or Supreme Court. Try to understand. Guys, for an example, suppose we say that for the assessment year 15-16, this is just an example, for the assessment year 15-16, there was one issue related to expenditure P. Now, in case of expenditure P, suppose in case of assessee or any other person, say Mr. Sai, one judgment of the ITET or High Court came, and that judgment was in the favor of assessee. So it was against the department. Department filed the appeal to the High Court or Supreme Court, and guys, today in the High Court or Supreme Court, appeal is pending in case of Nidhi or in case of any other person that is related to the expenditure P, and it was in the favor of assessee. Means against the department filed the appeal to the High Court. Against ITET order, it will be High Court, or again High Court order, it will be at Supreme Court. And in High Court, Supreme Court, that appeal is pending. Now what happened? Try to understand. For an example, for any other year, other year means, for an example, for assessment year 17-18, suppose in case of the assessee, name is Nidhi, issue is same, that is related to the expenditure P. What happened? Either CIT appeal judgment came or any ITET judgment came. And guys, either CIT appeal judgment came or ITET judgment came. And this CIT appeal, or you can say that the JC appeal, either JC appeal or CIT appeal. So CIT appeal or ITET judgment came, and guys, that judgment was also in the favor of assessee. So obviously, when it is in the favor of assessee, so department will file appeal to either ITET or High Court. Means department will file appeal to the ITET or High Court. And guys, to file the appeal at ITET, what is the time limit? Time limit is a 60 days. And to the High Court, time limit is a 120 days. So here department will file the appeal, because CIT appeal judgment or ITET judgment was in the favor of the assessee. But guys, in the same assessee or in case of any other person, but on the same issue, already one case is pending with the High Court or Supreme Court. Again, I am repeating whole the scenario. Try to understand. Guys, for the assessment year 15-16, there was issue related to expenditure P. So expenditure P should be allowed or disallowed. That was one issue. In case of either Nidhi, one assessee, or in case of any other person, ITET or High Court gave the judgment in the favor of assessee. So department filed the appeal to the High Court or Supreme Court, and in High Court, Supreme Court, appeal is pending still. Now what happened for the another year? In case of assessee related to same issue, identical issue, CIT appeal or ITET has given the judgment in the favor of assessee. So department should file appeal to the ITET or High Court within the 60 days or 120 days. But here, department will request to assessee. Means in department, there will be one collegium. Collegium means there will be two or more CIT or PCIT or CCIT team, that will be called as collegium. Collegium will decide that they will not file appeal to ITET or High Court now. Means just after CIT appeal order or ITET order, they will not file the appeal to the ITET or High Court. They will file the appeal to the ITET or High Court only after this particular judgment. Means here, collegium of the department, collegium means there will be a team of the two CIT or PCIT or CCIT, there will be a team, and that team will tell to the AO, they will tell to the bosses of the AO basically, and they will tell them, now don't file appeal to the ITET or High Court. And guys, they will request to the assessee also, and they will request to the assessee, and they will tell the assessee, see, in your case or in case of any other person, one case is already pending with the High Court or Supreme Court, and on the same issue there is a CIT appeal or ITET judgment that is in your favor. We should file the appeal, but we will not file the appeal now. If you allow us, then we will file the appeal only after this judgment. Only after this judgment we will file the appeal to the ITET or High Court. And here guys, if assessee agree, assessee says that okay, no problem at all, you can file the appeal to the ITET or High Court after this judgment. If assessee agree, then AO will inform to the ITAT or High Court, and AO will tell them that now we are not filing the appeal to the ITAT or High Court, we will file the appeal only after this judgment. Now guys, suppose for an example, after 2, 3, 4 years, if this judgment came and this judgment is in the favor of assessee, suppose that judgment, this judgment, High Court, Supreme Court judgment, suppose in the favor of assessee, then obviously department will not file appeal here to the ITAT and High Court, because here this judgment is in the favor of assessee, and guys, this judgment is also in the favor of assessee, so there is no need to file the appeal. But guys, for an example, suppose High Court, Supreme Court gave the judgment in the favor of department, then here now department will file the appeal to the ITAT or High Court. Now department will file the appeal to the ITAT or High Court. Now department will file the appeal to the ITAT or High Court. Now department will file the appeal to the ITAT or High Court. You understood my point or not? Yes sir, we have understood your point. You got my point or not? Yes sir, we have got your point. Done. So this is what this section says. Try to understand. So here it is given, not that easy section because there are lots of concepts. So try to understand what happened. In case of assessee or any other person, in case of assessee, example is Nidhi. Any other person, say Sai, Mr. Sai. If the question of law for any assessment here is pending before the jurisdictional High Court, means that area of High Court or Supreme Court, in the first case, against the order of ITAT or High Court, which was in the favor of assessee or any other person, means order was against the department. Now, and in case of assessee, the same question of law is decided by the JC appeal or CIT appeal or ITAT appeal. That is the second case. In the favor of assessee, then instead of filing appeal to the ITAT or High Court by department, the collegium may decide and inform the CIT, PCIT, means to the bosses, not to file any appeal at this stage to the ITAT or High Court. Now don't file the appeal at this stage. Don't file the appeal. Then when they will file the appeal, I will tell you. Now who will decide? That collegium will decide. Collegium means the collegium comprising of the 2 or more CCIT or PCIT or CIT specified by the CBDT. Now CIT, PCIT shall, on the receipt of communication from the collegium, they will direct to the assessing officer to make an application to ITAT or High Court in the form number 8A within the 120 days from the date of receipt of JC order or CIT appeal order or ITAT order, stating that an appeal on the question of law arising in the second case may be filed when the decision of the first case becomes the final. Means whenever that High Court, Supreme Court judgment will came, only after that we will file the appeal to the department. Now CIT, PCIT shall direct the AO to make an application only if the acceptance is received from the assessee, to the effect that the question of law in the first case is identical. Means they will request to the assessee. Assessee will say that okay, no problem. And in case no such acceptance is received, suppose assessee says that no, I will not allow you to file the appeal later. Now file the appeal. I want to fight you now only. Then the PCIT, CIT shall file the appeal to ITAT High Court now only. But when the question of law is decided by the High Court or Supreme Court in the first case in the favor of department, then CIT, PCIT bosses will tell to AO to file appeal to ITAT or High Court. Appeal to ITAT should be filed within 60 days, or to the High Court it should be filed within appeal to ITAT should be filed within 60 days, or to High Court it should be filed within 120 days from the date on which order of High Court or Supreme Court is received by the CIT or PCIT. Done. So this is one case question, that is one concept. That is like, it is also for the procedure where identical question of law is pending before High Court or Supreme Court. Here in the first case, basically assessee request to the department. Second case where department is requesting to the assessee. Done. Now next section is a 268A. There is no need to remember the section. Guys, department will file the appeal to the ITAT or High Court or Supreme Court only when department is going to get the tax liability, means they are going to get the tax effect is more than the prescribed limit. But in the small cases, they will not file the appeal. So for an example, when CIT appeal judgment came, you won the case. And guys, you won the case. So department will file the appeal to the ITAT only if they are going to get the tax effect is more than 50 lakh, then only they will file the appeal to the EDay. Department will file the appeal to the High Court only when they are going to get the tax effect of the more than 1 crore. And guys, they will file appeal to the Supreme Court only when they are going to get the tax effect of the more than 2 crore. So here more than 50 lakh, more than 1 crore and more than 2 crore. So more than 50 lakh, more than 1 crore and more than 2 crore. So department will file appeal to the EDay when tax effect is more than 50 lakh. They will file appeal to the High Court when tax effect is more than 1 crore, and they will file appeal to the Supreme Court when the tax effect is more than 2 crore. So 50 lakh, 1 crore, 2 crore. Now what is the meaning of tax effect? Here tax effect means, guys, here tax effect means basically what amount department will get if they win the case. Means suppose if they win the case, then what amount department is going to get from this particular appeal. If department win the case, then what will be the tax effect? Means how much department is going to get. That is called your tax effect. You got my point or not? Yes. Now one more point. For an example, guys, in your case, for the 1 year, department has not filed the appeal. Suppose for an example, in your case, for the 1 year, you won the case in the CIT appeal. Department has not filed the appeal to the EDay. And in the second year, in your case only, department filed the appeal to the EDay. So you cannot tell to the department, okay, last year you have not made the appeal to the EDay. Now why you are making appeal current year to the EDay? You cannot argue on this point. Or suppose there are two SSC, there were same issue. In case of one SSC, suppose department has not made the appeal to the EDay or High Court. But in the another SSC case, there was issue was same and department made the appeal to the EDay or High Court. Then guys, then in that particular case, then you cannot say that, okay, in that SSC you are not filing the appeal to the higher authority, and in my case you are filing the appeal to the higher. So you cannot argue on this particular point. Or one more point, guys, suppose for an example, department is not filing appeal against you in the EDay or High Court or Supreme Court due to the monetary limit, then you cannot tell that department has accepted your view. You cannot say that department has accepted your view. You got my point or not? Yes. Whatever read here, whatever written here, just read it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just read this point. Just read this point. Done. Okay. Now some remaining case laws will do that. Guys, what happened in case of the question is that, sir, suppose for an example, we forget to claim any expenditure in our return. Suppose we forget to claim any expenditure in the return. Can in the assessment we present that claim in front of the assessing officer or not? Means is assessing officer will allow us any fresh claim or any fresh deduction in assessment or not? Answer is no. AO will not allow you. AO will not allow you. Assessing officer will not allow you because, guys, assessing officer will ask you to file the revised return. There is only one way to claim the additional deduction or new claim, that is the file the revised return. But question is that against appellate authority, means suppose your case is with the EDay or your case is with the CIT appeal. So can you claim any additional deduction in front of the CIT appeal or EDay? Means EDay or CIT appeal, appellate authority may allow you the additional claim or not? Right answer is yes. Bombay High Court gave the judgment. Bombay High Court says that like appellate authority is having the power. Assessing officer don't have the power. Assessing officer don't have the power. Assessing officer will not allow you any fresh claim except filing the revised return. But guys, appellate authority has the power. Appellate authority may allow you the fresh claim even without filing any revised return. So here appellate authority has this power. So try to understand. Assessee can make the additional or new claim before the appellate authority which was not claimed by assessee in return of income, otherwise than by way of filing a revised return. So here appellate authority may allow. Now what happened? There is a one case law, that is the Rita Sabapati Madras High Court judgment. Now what happened guys here? Assessee filed one appeal in the ITAT. ITAT has given hearing date and assessee has not appeared in the ITAT. Assessee has not appeared in the ITAT. So ITAT just dismissed the appeal. ITAT just dismissed the appeal and ITAT decided the case against the assessee. What happened? Assessee filed the appeal to the ITAT, Income Tax Appellate Tribunal. Tribunal, on the date of hearing, assessee has not appeared before tribunal. So when assessee has not appeared before tribunal, tribunal has given the judgment against the assessee and they have dismissed the appeal. Now question is that only on the basis of that assessee has not appeared in the appeal, can ITAT give the judgment against the assessee and dismiss the appeal without going into the merit? Means they have not checked the appeal, what is the point, what is the logic, what was the fact of case, what was the grounds of appeal. They have not checked anything. They just they dismiss the appeal without going into the case on the basis of merit and they have given the judgment against the assessee. Is it the right approach? So here Madras High Court says that no. Even assessee has not appeared in the appeal, then ITAT cannot straightforward dismiss the appeal. ITAT has to give the judgment on the basis of the merit. Means here ITAT will check that. ITAT will check all the fact and all. ITAT will check all the grounds of appeal and all. And on the basis of merit, ITAT will give the judgment. So if assessee is not satisfied, then assessee can file the appeal to the High Court. But only merely on the basis of that assessee has not appeared in the appeal, ITAT cannot dismiss the appeal. So all people pay attention. What happened here in the Rita Sabapati 2019 Madras High Court judgment? What happened in this particular case? Try to understand. The ITAT cannot dismiss the appeal without deciding the case on its merit solely on the ground that the assessee had not appeared on the appointed date of the hearing. ITAT should not shirk its responsibility to decide the case on its merit. Cryptic order not touching the merit of the case would not give rise to any substantial question of law for the consideration by the High Court under section 260A. So suppose for an example, they are they dispose the appeal, they dismiss the appeal. So assessee will not able to file the appeal to the High Court now, because there is a question of law or not, that will not be decided. So here High Court says that ITAT cannot decide the case, or they cannot dismiss the case only because assessee has not appeared on the appeal date. So here ITAT should give the judgment on the basis of merit. They will check all the fact of the case, they will check all the grounds of the appeal, and after that they should give the judgment. Done. So this case law already done. Now next part is a Spinacom India Private Limited 2018 Supreme Court judgment. Now what happened guys? You know that if you are not satisfied with the judgment of the ITAT, then you should file the appeal to the High Court. Now High Court appeal time limit is a 120 days. When you receive the ITAT order, then within 120 days you should file the appeal to the High Court. So if you are not satisfied with the ITAT order, you should file the appeal to the High Court. Now what happened? One assessee filed the appeal to the High Court after 120 days. Say after 400 days, he filed the appeal to the High Court. After 400 days, he filed the appeal to the High Court. Now High Court asked him why you filed the late appeal. Then assessee says that actually ITAT judgment was came, but there was some mistake. So I have filed the rectification application with the ITAT, and I was waiting for the rectification application to be disposed of. I was waiting for the rectification application to be disposed of. And when the rectification application is disposed of, after that I have filed the appeal to the High Court. So question is that when you are one the rectification application, because in their order suppose there may be some mistake, and to rectify that you have filed one rectification application to ITAT, and when rectification order came, after that you have filed the appeal to the High Court. Question is that delay in filing appeal to the High Court was beyond like days, because within 120 days they should file the appeal to the High Court. Question is that is this reason is a sufficient reason or not? Here Supreme Court says that no, this is not a sufficient reason. This is not a sufficient reason, because suppose if your any rectification application is pending with the ITAT na, then you should file the appeal to the High Court, and in the memorandum you can just give one note na कि our one rectification application is pending with the ITAT. You can write that, but this is not a reasonable cause. This is not a reasonable reason where you can file the late appeal to the High Court. So what happened here in the Spinacom India Private Limited Supreme Court judgment? Delay in filing appeal to High Court on the ground that appellant was seeking an alternative remedy under section 254 for the rectification of mistake apparent from record in the ITAT order is not acceptable and shall not be condoned. Appellant should have filed the appeal to High Court mentioning in the memorandum of the appeal stating that an application for rectification has been filed before the ITAT which is pending as on the date. So they should file the appeal to the ITAT, they should file the appeal to the High Court within the time limit. And guys, they should mention in the memorandum of appeal that there is a one rectification application which is pending with the ITAT, but they should not file the delay appeal to the High Court. So this is one case law. Now last case law of this topic is a Saplabs India Private Limited 2023 Supreme Court judgment. Now question is that sir, you know that whenever there is a question of law that will be decided by High Court and Supreme Court, question of fact is last decided by the ITAT. Now what happened in case of one assessee, there is an issue relating to the transfer pricing. So transfer pricing, computation of arm length price, follow the method and all. This is the question of law or question of fact? Obviously question of fact, because find out the arm length price and that is the question of fact. But question is that when case is with the High Court, then is High Court is having the power to determine the arm length price or not? Means can High Court determine the arm length price or not? Can High Court can check that whatever ITAT has followed section 92 to 92F or not? Is ITAT has considered the comparative companies or not? Is arm length price they have considered for the comparative companies that is right or not? Is High Court is having that power or not? Right answer is yes. So here Supreme Court decided in case of the Saplabs India Private Limited, and Supreme Court says that High Court has the power. If this is the case where like transfer pricing, so in case of transfer pricing, High Court has that power. High Court can check that whatever ITAT has decided the arm length price, they correctly derived that arm length price or not. They have followed the section 92 to 92F or not. The comparable analysis, they have did the correct comparable analysis or not. So High Court has this power. So all people pay attention. As per the Supreme Court, High Court has the power to consider the substantial question of law involving the determination of arm length price. So while determining the arm length price, ITAT has to follow the guidelines of the transfer pricing. Means ITAT has followed the guidelines of transfer pricing or not. If ITAT has not determined the arm length price as per the rules of transfer pricing, then treated as question of law, and High Court can determine the arm length price. Or High Court can also examine the question of the comparability analysis of the two companies or selection of the filter and examine whether the same is done judicially and on the basis of the relevant material or evidence on the record or not. And High Court can also examine whether the comparable transaction have been taken into consideration properly or not. That is to the extent as whether non-comparable transaction are considered as comparable transaction or not. So in simple word, High Court has the power that they can check that ITAT, whatever ITAT has did, is ITAT correctly derived the arm length price or not? ITAT has followed the rule given in the transfer pricing topic or not? So High Court has the power and High Court can determine the arm length price. So this is the completion of this topic. Now guys, we will do one topic today, that is called your miscellaneous topic. Very interesting topic. Miscellaneous topic number 5, miscellaneous topic. And here guys, I need your attention because in the first section only you will get confused, so I need your attention. In your office, I think you did the tax audit. So in the tax audit, there is a reporting related to the 269 SS, 269 T, 269 ST. So first section is section number 269 SS. Now guys, what this section says, try to understand. 269 SS. This section says that, all people pay attention, very simple section. This section says that, and I need here attention, Shiva, Meghna, Nagappan, Nehal, Nidhi, Shivashri. I need your attention here. 269 SS. This section says that if from any person, if you are taking any loan or if you are accepting any advance, or if you are taking any loan, or suppose you are accepting any deposit, or if you are accepting any advance in relation to immovable property, means for the immovable property you are accepting any advances. So what I am saying, that try to understand. Lawmaker says that suppose if you are taking any loan or any deposit or advance in relation to immovable property, so either loan or deposit or advance in relation to immovable property, means you are selling a immovable property, suppose you are receiving the advance. And guys, suppose if that loan, deposit or advance in relation to immovable property, that is 20,000 rupees or more, then you should accept only by account pay check or account pay demand draft or any mode of electronic clearing system. It means you cannot accept by way of the cash or bearer check and all or cross check and all. If you are accepting by that mode, then there will be a violation of this section. There will be a violation of this section. There will be a violation of this section. And if there is a violation of this section, then there is a one penalty, section 271D. And guys, under section 271D, Joint Commissioner can impose the penalty at the rate 100%. Joint Commissioner can impose the penalty at the rate 100% of that amount of loan or deposit or advance in relation to immovable property. So again, try to understand what I am saying, that you guys, whenever you take any loan or deposit or advance in relation to immovable property from any one person, and if it is a 20,000 rupees or more, then it should be accepted by way of the account pay check or account pay demand draft or any mode of electronic clearing system. In simple word, you cannot accept by way of the cash or bearer check. And if you did it, if you violate it, means if you accepted in the cash 20,000 rupees or more, then guys, there will be a penalty under section 271D, and this penalty can be imposed only by the Joint Commissioner. And guys, Joint Commissioner will impose the penalty at the rate 100%. 100% of that loan or deposit or advance in relation to immovable property, here AO will, means Joint Commissioner will impose the penalty. I can take one example, try to understand. Guys, suppose there is a one person, that person name is Mr. BB. Now try to understand a very interesting part. Try to understand. Mr. BB, now I have accepted some loan from Meghna. I took some loan from Meghna, and suppose here I took the 30,000 rupees cash loan on the 19 July 2023. So on the 19 July 2023, when I have accepted the 30,000 rupees cash loan from Meghna, then guys, I have violated the section 269 SS. Because 269 SS says that if I take any loan or deposit or advance in relation to immovable property from any person, and if that amount is at 20,000 rupees or more, then I should accept only by account pay check, account pay demand draft or any mode of electronic clearing system. So here guys, I have violated this section. And when I have violated this section, and because this is the 20,000 rupees or more, so here guys, on the 30,000 rupees, there will be a penalty equal to the 30,000. Miss Joint Commissioner has the power that Joint Commissioner can impose the penalty of the 30,000 because I have violated the section 269 SS. Now try to understand whatever example now I am going to take now. I need your 100% attention. Huh? Try to understand. Guys, suppose for an example, from Meghna, I took the loan of only 15,000 here in the cash. In the cash, earlier I took the loan of the 15,000. Try to understand. Huh? I need your attention because here you will get confused. I took the loan from Meghna of the 15,000. So is there is a violation? Answer is no. At this time there is no violation because loan amount is not 20,000 rupees or more. So there is no violation, no penalty. But guys, on the 12th December 2023, again I took the loan from Meghna in cash of rupees 10,000. Now is this will be the violation or not? So lawmaker here says that while checking the limit of this 20,000, whatever the loan outstanding on that day, means whatever you took earlier, means either loan or deposit or advance in relation to immovable property, that will also be considered while checking the 20,000 rupees limit. So while checking the 20,000 rupees limit, Sharlina, while checking the 20,000 rupees limit, whatever the loan or advance or deposit, loan or advance in relation to immovable property or any deposit, that will also be considered while checking the limit of the 20,000. So here guys, on this date, this 15,000 loan, earlier it was taken, so it is outstanding, and now this 10,000 is taken in the cash. Now this 10,000 is taken in the cash. So there is a violation. Answer is yes. Here there is a violation. So in this particular case, your penalty will be the 25,000. There will be a penalty under section 271D of the 25,000, means JC will charge the penalty of the 25,000. You understood my point or not? So in simple word, when you take the loan in the cash now, on that day, whatever the earlier outstanding, that amount will also be considered. That amount will also be considered. So here guys, this 15,000 will also be considered. And here 15,000 will also be considered. Now you took the loan in the cash of the 10,000. So guys, here 10,000 and 15,000 earlier taken in the cash. So here this is the 25,000. So this is treated as the violation of this section 269 SS. And guys, 25,000 penalty will be imposed by the assessing officer. Now there is a one very technical point and I need your attention. Huh? Try to understand and let's see who will give the right answer. Guys, there is a one person, Mr. BB, and here Meghna, BB and Meghna. Now from Meghna, I received first a loan of the loan on 19 July 2023 of the 25,000, but by way of the NEFT. My question to all of you, there will be a violation or not? Here in case of the 25,000 loan from Meghna by Mr. BB, is there is a violation or not? Is there is any violation or not here? Is there is any violation or not? Right answer is there is no violation. There is no violation. So there is no penalty. But guys, suppose on the 15th December 2023, I took the loan from Meghna of the 7,000 in the cash, only 7,000 rupees in the cash. Is here there is a violation or not? This is my question. This is my question to all of you, and this is the 100-mark question. You can say that. Question is that I am taking this loan is still outstanding, and I took the loan of 7,000 rupees in cash on this particular date. Is there is a violation or not? Is there is a violation here? There is a violation or not? Here I am taking the cash loan, and that cash loan I am taking of 7,000 rupees only. Is there is a violation or not? Right answer is, Meghna, yes, there is a violation. Right answer is, yes, there is a violation. What you have to check, you know that when you taking any cash loan or cash deposit or cash advance in relation to immovable property, that time while checking the 20,000 limit, your earlier outstanding amount should also be considered. Here, your earlier outstanding amount will also be considered. So earlier outstanding amount is 25,000. Even that amount was taken by way of the NEFT, RTGS, whatever mode. Now, what you have to check, okay, when you are accepting the cash now, that time what is your outstanding amount plus this cash loan? So that outstanding amount was 25,000. And here guys, this 7,000, so total comes to the 32,000 now. So limit of 20,000 or more is cross. So in this particular case, there is a violation, and guys, there will be a penalty of the 7,000 rupees. There will be a penalty of the 7,000 rupees under section 271D. So there will be a penalty of the 7,000 under section 271D. There is a violation. Answer is yes. So what you have to check here, like when you take the cash loan or cash deposit or cash advance in relation to immovable property, that time whatever the outstanding amount now, that will also be considered. That should also be considered. So whatever your outstanding amount on that day, that will also be going to be considered. You got my point or not? Yes. So all people pay attention here. But now, if there was a reverse case, then what happened? Try to understand. Huh? Now, this is very interesting part. Try to understand. Suppose here Meghna and there is a person, Mr. BB. Suppose on the 19 July 2023 from Meghna, I took the 18,000 rupees loan in cash. Here I took the loan earlier in the cash. Is there is a violation? Answer is no, there is no violation. Because on this date, the total loan outstanding is only 18,000. So there is no violation. Now guys, suppose on the 12th December 2023, I again took the 15,000 loan from the same person by way of the NEFT. Now is there is any violation? Answer is no. Now there is no violation. Because here you are accepting the loan by way of the NEFT. Na? Here you are accepting the loan by way of the NEFT. So there is no violation. So in simple word, what I am saying that when you should not accept the loan or advance in relation to immovable property or a deposit from any person in the cash. And if you accepting on the cash now, then that day whatever your outstanding amount now, that will also be clubbed. Whatever your outstanding amount, that will also be clubbed. Whatever your outstanding amount, that will also be clubbed. Whatever your outstanding amount, that will also be clubbed. You got my point or not? Yes. So here, when first time you're taking the cash, that time that will not be checked. Because that 20,000 limit is not crossed. Second time it is crossed, but now you are taking in the NEFT, na? So there is no violation. But in the first case, there was a violation. Answer is yes, because in the second time you are taking the cash, that time your outstanding plus now this loan is a 20,000 rupees or more. You got my point or not? You understood my point or not? Yes, sir. We have understood your point. If you understood the point, then just say, yes, sir. Manasalai. Yes, sir. Manasalai. Done. Manasalai, Meghna. Yeah. Done. Done, people. Done. Now, guys, just check your book. What is given in 269 SS? So 269 SS says that mode of taking or accepting loan, deposit or advance. So here, any person should take or accept any loan or deposit or advance in relation to immovable property only by account, pay, check, demand draft, any other prescribed electronic mode if the amount of rupees 20,000 rupees or more. Now, on the date of taking or accepting such loan or deposit or advance in relation to immovable property, Guys, any loan or deposit or advance in relation to immovable property taken or accepted earlier by such person and unpaid on such date shall also be considered for the 20,000 limit. Means whatever outstanding amount, that will also be considered. But guys, this section is not applicable. Where this section is not applicable? If loan advance deposit is taken from or by, from is taken from this person or by this person, then this section is not applicable. Either government, means government take any loan in the cash or government give any loan in the cash and all, then this section is not applicable. Or any bank, cooperative bank, post office. Suppose if you have accepted the loan from the bank, cooperative bank, post office, or bank, cooperative bank, post office, taken the loan from any other person, then this section is not applicable. Government company, then also this section is not applicable. As well as if any person is having only agriculture income, that person don't have any other income, only agriculture income, then this section is not applicable. Or any corporation established by the central, state or provincial act, then this section is not applicable. Or any other person may be notified by the CBDT. Now guys, in the small villages, there are the primary agriculture credit society or primary cooperative agriculture and rural development bank. So here guys, if loan or deposit is taken from that society or by that society, then this limit will be the 2 lakh instead of the 20,000. That is one amendment from this year. So what this amendment says that the limit of the 2 lakh is applicable in case of any deposit or loan where deposit is accepted by the primary agriculture credit society or primary cooperative agriculture and rural development bank from its member, or a loan is taken from the primary agriculture credit society or primary credit agriculture rural development bank by its member. So what I am saying that here guys, if deposit or loan where it is taken from or by primary agriculture credit society or primary cooperative agriculture rural development bank, then guys this limit will be the 2 lakh instead of the 20,000. Now if you have not followed this section, then there will be a penalty, and that penalty will be the 100% of the loan, deposit or advance, and this penalty will be imposed by only joint commissioner. Now guys, here 3 examples are given, just read it. 3 examples are there, just read it. Done people, done. So this was section 269 SS. Now what is the section 269T? Try to understand. Will understand the section 269T. So 269T, this section says that this section 269T says that like you, if you are repaying, repay means repay any loan or deposit or advance in the relation to immovable property. And guys, if this is the 20,000 rupees or more, then it should be paid by the account pay check or demand draft or any mode of electronic clearing system. It means it should not be by way of the cash. If there is a violation of this section, means when you repay any loan or any deposit or advance in relation to immovable property, it should not be repaid by way of the cash if it is a 20,000 rupees or more. If you repay by way of the cash, then guys, there will be a penalty under section 271E, and this penalty is also imposed by the joint commissioner, and there will be 100% of the loan, deposit or advance in relation to immovable property which is repaid by way of the cash. Now try to understand. I will take one example and we will understand this. Try to understand. For an example, there is a one person, Mr. BB, and there is a one person, name is Meghna. Now what happened? Suppose from Meghna, I took the loan. From Meghna, I took the loan of rupees 1 lakh. And I took the loan by way of the NEFT. So when I took the loan by way of NEFT, so in simple word, there is no violation of section 269 SS, because when I took the loan, that time there is no violation. But guys, what happened? Suppose for an example, this loan I have taken on the 19 July 2022, last year. Now in the current year, I am repaying this loan. I am going to repay this loan. I am going to repay this loan. And what happened? First, I repaid on the 14th April 2023. And on this date, I have repaid the 40,000. And suppose that day I have repaid by way of the NEFT only. So there is no violation here. There is no violation. But guys, suppose for an example, after some time again I am repaying, and on the again I repay on the 15 July 2023, and suppose I repaid the 12,000 by way of the cash. I repaid the 12,000 by way of the cash. Lawmaker says that when you repaid any loan along with the interest, then whatever the outstanding loan on that day, that will also be considered for calculating the limit of the 20,000. Means whatever the outstanding balance on that particular date, means when you repay the loan in the cash or advance or deposit in the cash on that day, whatever the outstanding balance, that will also be considered while calculating the limit of the 20,000. So here guys, when I am making the payment of the 12,000, then can I say that what is the outstanding balance? So I took the loan of the 1 lakh. So 1 lakh minus principal repayment 40,000 I already paid earlier. So here remaining was 60,000. Out of 60,000, 12,000 I am paying now. So 12,000 plus outstanding amount is a 48,000. So guys, outstanding amount is 48,000. So total is crossing the 20,000 or more. Na? Total is here cross the 20,000 or more. So guys, there is a violation. Here it will be treated as a violation, and it means when it is the violation means here guys, there will be a penalty under section 271E of the 12,000 rupees. So 12,000 penalty will be imposed by the joint commissioner. So this is very simple section. What this section says, whenever if you repay any loan or deposit or advance in relation to immovable property and you are repaying in cash, and when you repay in the cash, now that day whatever your outstanding that loan, outstanding deposit or outstanding advance in relation to immovable property, that will also be combined for the purpose of checking the limit of 20,000 rupees or more. So here in this particular case, when you are repaying 12,000 rupees in the cash, when you are repaying this 12,000 rupees in the cash, then guys, this 270E penalty will be imposed on this 12,000, because 12,000 is the cash and outstanding amount is 48,000. So 48,000 plus 12,000, limit is 20,000 is already crossed. So here guys, this section is applicable, and guys, here this will be a penalty. But suppose for an example, earlier you repaid the 90,000. For an example, here you repaid the 90,000 by way of the NEFT. And now you are repaying the 12,000 in cash, sorry, 10,000 in cash. Now you are repaying the 10,000 rupees in cash, then guys there is no violation, because at the time of repayment of this 10,000 is any outstanding amount. Answer is no. So that outstanding amount will not be considered in the 20,000 limit. So guys, there is no outstanding amount now. So here there is no violation. Penalty is not applicable. Penalty is not applicable. Now one more point. Suppose guys, for an example, here Mr. BB and Meghna. Suppose I took the cash loan from the Meghna of 1 lakh and I repaid in the cash only, that is 1 lakh rupees. Then guys, here both penalty will be applicable. Means here both section is violated, because once I took the loan of the 1 lakh in the cash, 269 SS is violated. When I am repaying in the cash, 269T is violated. So when both the section is violated, then there will be a penalty of the 200%, because 100% under section 271D and 100% under section 271E. So in simple word, here there will be a 200% penalty, or I can say that there will be a 2 lakh rupees penalty. Because both the section I have violated. When I took the loan for the 1 lakh in the cash, then this section is violated. Again I am repaying the cash, that time again I violated the another section. So both the section will apply. So here guys, first we will read the section 269T, what the section says. Try to understand. 269T is given on the page number 94. This section 269T. 269T is related to repayment of loan or deposit or advance. This section says that any person should repay loan or deposit together with the interest or advance in relation to immovable property only by account pay check, demand draft or any other prescribed electronic mode if the amount is 20,000 rupees or more. And guys, on the date of repayment of such loan or deposit or advance in relation to immovable property, any loan or deposit or advance in relation to immovable property outstanding on such date shall also be considered for the 20,000 rupees limit. Above section is not applicable if loan or deposit or advance in relation to immovable property is taken or accepted from. Means earlier if you taken this loan and now you are repaying to the government or bank or cooperative bank or post office or government company or corporate established by the central, state or provincial act. So in simple word, here the above section is not applicable if you have taken the loan, deposit or advance and now you are repaying to the government or bank, cooperative bank, post office or government company or corporation established by the central, state or provincial act, then this section is not applicable and here penalty will be the 100% and this penalty will be imposed by only Joint Commissioner. Here is one question. What if the loan amount was 10,000 is given and 10,000 is repaid? 269T is violated. Answer is no. If you took the 10,000, that time there is no violation. If you repaid the 10,000, no violation. So both the section there is no violation. Okay. Now next section, and this section is very interesting. Section 269ST. 269ST. Guys, this section is very interesting section. Section 269ST. This section says that very interesting section. Okay guys, if you are accepting 2 lakh rupees or more, if you accept the 2 lakh rupees or more from any person, means you are accepting 2 lakh rupees or more from any person either in a single day or in relation to a single transaction, or in relation to single event or occasion, then it should be accepted only by way of the account pay check, account pay demand draft or any mode of electronic clearing system through bank account. Means you cannot accept the 2 lakh rupees or more in cash from any person in a single day or in relation to single transaction or in relation to single event or occasion. You cannot accept the 2 lakh rupees or more in cash. If you accepted the 2 lakh rupees or more in cash from any single person, either in a single day or in relation to single transaction or in relation to single event, then there will be a violation of section 269 ST. And guys, if there is a violation of 269 ST then there will be a penalty under section 271 DA, and there will be 100% of that amount will be penalty. Under section 271 DA, there will be 100% penalty, and this penalty will also be imposed only by the Joint Commissioner. What I am saying, that try to understand. Section 269 ST. This section says that, okay, guys, you cannot accept any amount in cash in a single day from any person, 2 lakh rupees or more, or in a relation to single transaction, or in relation to the single event or single occasion. Then if you violated this section, then guys, there will be a penalty of 100%. So in the practical life today, if you purchase any goods and all, then guys, they will not accept the 2 lakh rupees in a cash in a single day from single person, or in relation to single transaction, or in relation to the single event. They will not accept that. If they accepted then there will be a violation of section 269 ST, and there is a violation of 269 ST, then there will be a 100% penalty. I can take one example. Try to understand. For an example, suppose there is a one person. There is a one person. That person name is Raju. And there is a one person, name is Mr. Kamu. There is a one person Raju. There is a one person Mr. Kamu. Now suppose, guys, what happened? Raju sold the goods to the Kamu. Raju sold the goods to the Kamu. And suppose here Raju sold the goods to the Kamu, and here there was a 3 bill number 102, bill number 103, bill number 104. So there are 3 different transaction. Value was 80,000. Here it was also 80,000. Here it was also 80,000. So 3 different bill, 3 different transaction. But what happened? From Kamu, Raju received the cash on the 19 July 2023 in the morning. Suppose he received the cash of the 1,60,000 for the 2 bill, and in the evening he received the 80,000 rupees for the 1 bill. Question is that, and he received this amount in the cash, is there is a violation of this section or not? He sold the goods of there are 3 bill, and suppose date was also different. This date was 15 July, this date was 16 July, this date was 17 July. There was 3 bill of the 80,000. But he received the payment from the Kamu on the single day. And single day, in the morning he received the 1,60,000. In the evening he received the 80,000. So here total he received in a day is 2,40,000. In the cash, question is that, is there is a violation or not? Answer is yes. There is a violation of 269 ST, and guys, Raju is required to pay the penalty of 100%. Means there will be a 2,40,000 rupees penalty. There will be a 2,40,000 rupees penalty. So in simple word, in a single day, you cannot accept the 2 lakh rupees or more in the cash from any person for any purpose. You cannot accept the 2 lakh rupees or more in the cash in a single day. If you did this, then there is a violation. Here there is a violation. Answer is yes. There is a violation of the 2 lakh or more you have accepted in the cash. So there is a violation. Now one more point. Guys, what happened? For an example, suppose there is a Raju and second person is a Kamu. What happened? Suppose bill was 1. There was one bill. And on the 15 July 2023, he made one bill of the 5 lakh. Means bill value is a 5 lakh. And guys, bill number is suppose 2404 is a bill number. And there is a bill number 1. There is a one bill only. What happened? 5 lakh bill. Kamu is paying in the cash to the Raju on the 5 different days. Suppose on the 15 July, he received the 1 lakh rupees. Again on the next day, he received the 1 lakh rupees. Again on the next day, he received the 1 lakh rupees. Again on the next day, he received the 1 lakh rupees. Again on the next day, he received the 1 lakh rupees. And guys, this all payment were received in cash. 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 This 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh. Every day you are getting 1 lakh. So here Raju is not receiving in a single day 2 lakh or more. But guys, transaction was one. Na? Transaction was one because bill was one. So in relation to the single transaction, if he is receiving the 2 lakh rupees or more in the cash, then there is a violation. And guys, this section will apply. This section will apply. This section will apply. This section will apply. So here guys, there will be a violation. Answer is yes, there is a violation. Here there is a violation because transaction was one. Na? If transaction was one, on the single day you have not received the 2 lakh rupees or more. But in relation to the single transaction, bill was one. Na? So transaction was one. But suppose guys, there was a 5 bill, then obviously there is no violation. There is a 5 bill, then there is no violation. So in the practical life, what happens? Whenever you purchase any gold or jewelry from the jeweler shop, and suppose you are paying in the cash, then what he will do? He will never accept the 2 lakh rupees or more in a single day from single person. So what he will say? He will ask you to give the family member name, and he will always make the bill of the 1,99,000, and he will accept the cash of the 1,99,000 in the one bill name. Second bill he will make in the name of your mother or your father or your brother or your sister. So guys, he will show and the different name. You got my point or not? So in simple word, even in case of the sale, in the single day from single person, you cannot accept the cash of 2 lakh rupees or more. In relation to the single transaction, you cannot accept the cash of 2 lakh rupees or more. If you did this, then there is a violation. So what I am saying that here, in a single day from any person, 2 lakh or more is not possible. In relation to single transaction, 2 lakh or more is not possible. And in relation to the single event. Now, what is the meaning of single event? So I am going to explain you single event. Single event means I can take an example. Suppose guys, there is a one marriage hall. That hall, there is a one hotel. That hotel name is suppose Pratik. Pratik Plaza is one hotel. Suppose for an example, there is one hotel. Name is a Pratik Plaza. Now what happened? There is a marriage of Meghna. Meghna marriage. Now, suppose Meghna marriage. Meghna marriage is one event. Now marriage wedding is one event. Now what happened? Suppose first Meghna visited this hotel and Meghna asked them to book a marriage hall. So suppose one hall is booked, and for the hall purpose, this hotel accepted amount on 16 July 2023 for the marriage, and marriage will be on the, for an example, on the 19 August 2023, there is a marriage. After 1 month, there is a marriage. Now, for the hall purpose, they accepted the 1,20,000 in the cash on this date. So bill is for the hall. Hall rental charges is 1,20,000. They accepted in cash. There is no violation because in single day from a single person, single transaction, they have not accepted the 2 lakh rupees or more. So there is no violation. Now guys, what happened? After some days, again Meghna, father visited to the hotel and they asked for the decoration also. And they asked, okay, decoration also, you have to take care of the decoration. And for the decoration purpose, suppose they ask the 50,000 rupees and 50,000 rupees is paid in the cash on the suppose 19 July 2023. After 3 days, they booked the decoration and they paid the 50,000 in cash. Now, after some time, suppose They again visited the hotel and they asked for the catering also. Catering also will take care by the hotel. So suppose here hotel asked for take care of the for the catering also, and for the catering on the 1st August 2023 they accepted the 70,000 in the cash. Question is that is there is a violation or not? Answer is yes, there is a violation. Answer is yes, there is a violation. Why there is a violation? Because guys, in the single day they have not accepted the 2 lakh rupees or more, that is condition is not violated. Transaction is also different. But guys, event is a one na. There is a one event, there is a one occasion, and that is the marriage. And for the marriage purpose, they have accepted the 2 lakh rupees or more in the cash. So there will be a violation. Answer is yes, there is a violation. And guys, under section 271 DA, there will be a penalty of rupees like 2,20,000 or 2,40,000 on this particular hotel. So in simple word, in a single day, you cannot accept the 2 lakh rupees or more in cash. In relation to single transaction, you cannot accept the 2 lakh rupees or more in cash, or in relation to single occasion or event, you cannot accept the 2 lakh rupees or more in the cash. Otherwise, there will be a violation of this section. And if there is a violation of this section, then guys, there will be a 100% penalty. But if there is a sufficient reason, if due to the some genuine reason you have accepted, then this penalty will not be applicable. It will be waived. What this section says, try to understand. Guys, any person should not receive any amount of 2 lakh rupees or more except by account pay check, account pay demand draft, or any mode of electronic clearing system in aggregate from a person in a day, means in a single day, in respect of a single transaction, or in respect of transaction relating to the one event or occasion from a person. Now guys, there is a one CBDT clarification. But before CBDT clarification, we'll check that where this section is not applicable. So in some cases, this section is not applicable. One is if any receipt is by the government, means government receive the cash, or if bank receive the cash, or post office receive the cash, or cooperative bank receive the cash, then guys, this section is not applicable. So obviously bank receive the cash. Now every day bank is received. Suppose you depositing cash into the bank. So bank will deny, oh no, we will not accept the cash. They will accept the cash. So if cash is received by the bank or government or post office or cooperative bank, then this section is not applicable. Or suppose if transaction is already covered under section 269 SS, means suppose if you took the cash loan of the 5 lakh. So if you took the cash loan of the 5 lakh, it means section 269 SS is already applicable. Then is section 269 ST will also be applicable? Answer is no. Here 269 ST will not apply if 269 SS is already applicable. Means transaction is already covered under section 269 SS, then obviously section 269 ST is not applicable. Now such other person notified by central government. Here central government has notified some person. Now question is that, sir, suppose if we withdraw the cash from bank, then this section will like hit or not? Because suppose today I withdraw the 3 lakh rupees from the bank. I visited the bank. I just withdraw the 3 lakh rupees from the bank. I have visited the bank. I have withdraw the 3 lakh rupees from the bank. So when I withdraw the 3 lakh rupees from the bank, is this section will be hit or not? Answer is no. This section is not going to hit. So here they mention that here cash withdraw from the bank or cooperative bank or post office, then this section is not applicable. Or suppose if received by the bank, correspondent by the bank or cooperative bank. Suppose if received by the bank correspondent means some people are working for the bank, means bank at every home. So bank at every home, HDFC, ICICI Bank, in the small villages, they are having the business correspondent, like bank correspondent. So they withdraw the cash and all, then this section is not applicable. If received by the ATM operator, there are some ATM operator like Vakrangi and Tata Easy Cash. So they are just ATM operators. So they need the cash. So if they withdraw the cash, they accept the cash, then this section is not applicable. Or suppose received from an agent by issuer of the prepayment instrument. If received from an agent of a prepayment instrument. Now prepayment instrument means, for an example, there is a one foreign currency card. Foreign currency card means, suppose for an example, okay, like now I want to visit the Singapore. So I need one Forex card, that is called foreign currency card. So I need the Forex card. So suppose I have approached to one agent. Agent sold me the Forex card. Now that forex card is of the Paytm. Now he will make the payment to the Paytm. Agent will make the payment to the Paytm. So Paytm accepted the payment from the agent for the prepaid instrument card and the cash. Then it is okay. Or for an example, one more example. Suppose RBI issue the prepayment forex card. Now RBI issue the card and RBI selling through the banks. So banks is the agent. So if banks is making the payment to the RBI, then this section is not applicable. So here, receipt from the agent by issuer of the prepaid payment instrument. Now next part. Received by the credit card company against the bill raised in respect of one or more credit card. So guys, if credit card company, example is American Express. Now American Express can receive in the cash or not if there is a credit card bill of the 3 lakh. So can they receive the 3 lakh rupees in cash or not? Answer is yes, they can receive. One more point guys, if you receive any award from the government and that award is exempt under section 1017(8). Award means if you receive the Bharat Ratna. Suppose if you receive the Bharat Ratna, so under Bharat Ratna, obviously you will not receive only that trophy. Along with that, you will receive the money also. So for the Bharat Ratna, when you will receive the money, that money you can receive in the cash. Answer is yes, you can accept in the cash. This section will not be applicable. Now one more point. Here there is one CBDT clarification. Guys, here they mention that here receipt by the government, bank, post office, cooperative bank is possible. But guys, here NBFC is not covered. Now what happened? Try to understand. Suppose one NBFC is given one loan to the one person. That person name is suppose Mr. MK. And MK is just, he is having one auto loan. Suppose he took the auto loan from the NBFC. Now that auto loan amount was the 3 lakh. Now what happened? Here MK is paying every month to the NBFC one EMI, and in EMI he is paying in the cash. And suppose he is paying the 7,000 rupees EMI in the cash. So here NBFC has given the loan to the MK. Loan was 3 lakh. Now every month he is paying the 7,000 rupees in the cash. So here NBFC is receiving amount in the cash. Now question is that, sir, here loan was given of the 3 lakh, EMI every month they are receiving 7,000. Question is that, is this 3 lakh will be treated as one transaction or this 7 lakh will be treated as one transaction? Because if you say that in relation to one transaction, loan was one transaction, in relation to one transaction, if you receive the 2 lakh rupees or more in cash, then this section is applicable. So here question is that one installment will be one transaction or total payment of the total amount of loan will be treated as one transaction? Right answer is here that one installment or EMI will be treated as a single transaction. That installment or EMI will be treated as single transaction. So here guys, this every EMI is a single transaction and it is not more than 2 lakh rupees or more. So here this section is not applicable. So what is the CBDT clarification? CBDT says that in respect of receipt in the nature of repayment of loan by NBFC or housing finance companies, the receipt of the one installment of loan shall constitute a single transaction and all installment paid for the loan shall not be aggregated. All installment paid for the loan will not be aggregated, means single EMI will be treated as a single transaction. That total loan amount will not be treated as one transaction. Now guys, there is one more clarification, not more relevant clarification. This clarification says that suppose any cooperative society is there. Suppose cooperative society for an example, they are manufacturing the sugar. Suppose they manufacture the sugar. Now cooperative society is selling this sugar through their agent. Through their agent. They are selling the sugar through the agent. They appointed some agent. Now this agent is making the payment to the cooperative society. And in a day, they are not making the payment of more than 2 lakh. Or in relation to single transaction, they are not paying the 2 lakh or more. But in the year from the agent, cooperative society received from the agent in a year, in a whole year, there is a 2 lakh rupees or more. So question is that, is this section will apply or not? Means is that whole year will be treated as one occasion or one event? Answer is no. So here they clarify that, okay guys, because there is a dealership agreement, na, there is an agency agreement. So is agency agreement, whatever they receive in the whole year, is that will be treated as single occasion or single, like you can say that the event? Answer is no, that will not be treated as a single occasion or single event. So what I'm saying, that try to understand second clarification from the CBDT. Receipt related to the dealership or distributorship contract by cooperative society in on any day in the previous year, which is within the limit of A and B. A and B limit means in a from a single person in a day is up to 2 lakh, means that is not more less than 2 lakh. And guys, in relation to single transaction also it is less than 2 lakh. May not be aggregated across multiple days for the purpose of C, means it will not be treated as one event or one occasion, means on the whole year it will not be aggregated. You got my point or not? Yes. So this is the completion of your this part. Now guys, here penalty is applicable, 100% penalty is applicable. This penalty also be imposed by the joint commissioner only. However, there will be no penalty if that person prove that there was a good and sufficient reason for the contravention. After that, 3 examples are given. I just request you to read this example. I am going to give you 2-3 minutes time. Just read it. Done, people? Done. Oh bhai. Done, people? Done. Done, sir, done. Now next part. There is a one section 269 SU. Now what this particular section says, try to understand. One simple section. This section is 269 SU. SU. This section says that, hey guys, if your last year turnover was more than 50 crore, means you are doing the business. If you are doing the business, this is business. And your last year turnover was more than 50 crore, then in the current year, you have to provide this 3 payment option to your customer. You have to provide. Means there is a mandatory. If last year your turnover of more than 50 crore, then in current year you have to provide this particular options to the people for the payment. One is the debit card powered by the RuPay. Second is a Bhim UPI, and third is a UPI QR code, that is Bhim UPI QR code. This section says that if your last year turnover was more than 50 crore, then guys, in this year you have to provide the 3 payment option, means mandatorily. Other payment option, whatever you provided, NEFT, RTGS, debit card, credit card, that is already there. But guys, this 3 payment option is mandatory. One is the debit card powered by RuPay. Second is the Bhim UPI, and third is the QR code. If you have not provided this facility now, then every day there will be a 5,000 rupees penalty, and this penalty will also be imposed by the Joint Commissioner. So there will be every day 5,000 rupees penalty, and this penalty will be imposed by the Joint Commissioner. You got my point or not? Yes, what this section says, try to understand. Person carrying on business shall provide the facility for the accepting payment through the prescribed electronic mode if his turnover of last year is more than 50 crore. Now, if assessee fails to follow this section, then he shall be liable to pay the penalty of sum of 5,000 for every day during which such failure continue. It shall be imposed by the Joint Commissioner. Guys, one is the RuPay card, second is the Bhim UPI, QR code. Done. So this is one small section. Like nowadays, you know that petrol pump, all petrol pump dealers, suppose last year their turnover was more than 50 crore, then they have provided you this 3 facility. Otherwise, there will be a penalty of 5,000 rupees every day. Done. Okay, Nagappan, there is one doubt. Yes, sir, if the third example, the mode of payment of 3 lakh is made through NEFT, balance of 1.5 lakh is paid through the cash. No, then there will not be a violation. Then there will not be a violation. Done. Now, guys, there is one section, that is the deemed income. Deemed income is deemed income. There is one section 68. And here we will cover the 68 to 69D. And first section is section 68, and the 68 is related to the cash credit. This section 68 is related to the cash credit. Now what this section says, you know that. Suppose guys, in your bank account, if you received any amount in your bank account or in your account, if there is any amount is received by you, department asks you, just give the explanation from where you got this amount. Just they ask you for the explanation from where you got this amount. Suppose if you are not able to give the explanation, or you are giving the false explanation, means department is not satisfied with your explanation, then guys, that amount will be treated as your deemed income, and there will be a penalty as well as the tax rate. And guys, you know that if your income is taxable under this section then guys, there is a one tax rate, and that tax rate is given under section 115 BBE, and the tax rate is a 60% is tax rate, and on that 60% there will be a 25% surcharge and 4% health and education cess. So effectively, there will be a 78% tax rate. Effectively, there will be a 78% tax rate. So guys, if your income is taxable under section 68 to 69D, this is called your deemed income. Then tax rate is given under section 115 BBE. The tax rate is a 60%, surcharge is 25%, on the 60% comes to 75% plus 4%, so 78% will be tax rate. And on that 78% tax, guys, there will be 10% penalty also. So on the 78% tax, if you add the 10%, so it comes to the 85.8% will be taken by the department. So first section is section 68. Section 68 is related to the cash credit. This section says that in your books of account, if any amount is credited, they ask you from where you got this amount. If you are not able to explain them, means just keep quiet. We don't know. From where you got the money, you don't know. Or suppose you are explaining, but that explanation is not satisfactory. Like you are saying that actually what happened, in my last dream, Tirupati Balaji came and Balaji told me that you will get some money. So just do that puja. So I did that puja. I got this money because Balaji told me. So you are giving explanation, this type of explanation. Or suppose in your account, you got the 15 lakh rupees and they ask you from where you got the 15 lakh. You just mentioned that Modi ji sent me that 15 lakh rupees. Modi ji send me that 15 lakh rupees. So your explanation is not satisfactory. Then guys, this will be treated as your income and there will be tax rate of 78%. On that 78%, there will be a penalty also of the 10%. So effective, it will be approx 85 point something will be the effective they will charge. Now, either you are not able to explain or your explanation is not satisfactory. Now, one more point. This is very interesting. This section says that suppose if you took the loan from someone. Here, I took the loan, Mr. BB. Mr. BB, I took the loan from Meghna. Means I took the loan or borrowing from Meghna. Now, when they ask me from where you got the money, I explain that I took the loan from Meghna. Now, they asked to the Meghna. Now, when they called to the Meghna, they asked to the Meghna, Meghna, from where you got this money? From where you, what is the source of that money in your hand? Now, Meghna not able to explain. Meghna could not explain. Meghna not able to explain. If Meghna either not able to explain or Meghna's explanation is not satisfactory, then guys, it is assumed that Mr. BB's explanation is not satisfactory and guys, department will treat this amount in my hand as an income and it will be taxable in my hand and I have to pay the 78% tax. So suppose for an example, I took the loan of the 5 crore rupees from the Meghna. I took the loan of 5 crore rupees from the Meghna. Now department asked me, from where you got this 5 crore? I mentioned that I took the loan from Meghna. Now they call to the Meghna and they are asking Meghna, Meghna, from where you got this money? Meghna is not able to explain. I don't know. Like Tirupati Balaji told that 5 crore you will get. So I got this 5 crore in my bank account. Now Meghna not able to explain. Then it is assumed that here Mr. BB's explanation is not satisfactory. And guys, in my hand, it will be treated as the income. In my hand, it will be treated as the income and in my hand, it will be 78% will be the tax in my hand. So what I am saying that here, if Meghna's explanation is not satisfactory, then assume BB explanation is not satisfactory and it will be treated as income in my hand. Because what happened in the practical life? Many times, suppose in the like small villages, there are 50 people. So what I will do, you know that I will just deposit the cash in the account of the 50 people. After that, I will take the loan from them. After that, I will take the loan. Now they ask me from where you got this money. I will say that I have to give, like given the loan is taken from so and so people. Now they will call that all the people in the income tax department. They will not be able to explain from where they got this money. Because ultimately you converted the black money into white money. So I was having the 5 crore of black money. Now I just want to convert into white. So what I will do, I will just deposit that 5 crore rupees like 3344 lakh in the everyone account. And after that, I will took the loan from those people. They will not able to explain the source of that amount. Then it is assumed that my explanation is not satisfactory and it will be treated as my income and I have to pay the 78% tax. One more point here. One more point here. one more point here. Suppose one closely held company means a private limited company. So closely held company, suppose any closely held company. Now if closely held company received any amount as a share application money or any like a share capital or as a share premium from any resident person, and suppose if that person is not able to give any explanation, then it is assumed that that company is not able to give the any explanation, and in hands of company it will be treated as the income. So what I am saying, that try to understand. Okay, suppose any closely held company received any share application money or any share premium money or share capital money or from any person, any resident person, and suppose that person is not able to explain the source, then it is assumed that that company is not able to explain the source and it will be treated as income in hands of company. Because what will happen, you know that suppose I am having the 5 crore rupees cash, how to convert it into the white? So what I will do, I will just pick the like 200 people from my village. I will deposit 5 lakh in everyone bank account, and I will ask them just purchase the share of my company, because there is a closely held company. So they will purchase the share, they will apply, that is the share application money. After some time I will forfeit that money. So guys, easily I have converted the black money into white money. So here they are saying that closely held company receive any share application money, share capital, share premium from any person, and if that person is not able to explain, then it is assumed that that company explanation is not satisfactory. And in hands of company it is going to be taxable. You got my point or not? Yes. So try to understand what this section says. Pay attention. Where guys, any sum is found credited in the books of assessee and assessee offered no explanation. You are saying about the nature and source, or the explanation offered is not satisfactory in the opinion of the assessing officer, then sum so credited may be treated as the income of the assessee for that previous year. So it will be treated as income of that previous year. Means explanation is not satisfactory means Meghna says that suppose if you got the money, then you are saying that like you don't know from where you got this credit. So guys, you know that earlier in this section that tax rate was only 30%. So what happened during the demonetization? When demonetization took place, then everyone advised that just do one thing, just deposit money in your bank account, and when department asks from where you got the money, then you can say that we don't know from where we got the money, who deposited in our bank account, we don't know. So just pay the 30% tax and 70% will be the white money. And in return, just disclose the undisclosed income, and 30% is tax rate, undisclosed that cash credit, 30%, 70% will be your like remaining amount will be the white. So during that time only Arun Jaitley ji made this amendment, and Arun Jaitley ji says that no, if people may be planning to do this way. So Arun Jaitley ji increased this tax rate to the 78%. Okay, 78% tax rate. And on this tax, 10% will be the penalty also. And on this tax, there will be 10% penalty also. So here. So next part, they are saying that, however, where such sum is credited consist of the loan or borrowing or any sum by whatever name called, any explanation offered by assessee shall not be deemed to be satisfactory if the person in whose name such credit is recorded also offered no explanation about the nature and source, or explanation is not satisfactory. Suppose for an example, like I receive as a loan from Meghna, and they ask to the Meghna, from where you got the money? Meghna says that it just came flowing through the river. So I just got that money through the river and I deposited and I have given the loan to the VV sir. So that explanation is not satisfactory. Then it will be treated as my income is, it will be treated that my explanation is not satisfactory. Now next part. Further, any explanation offered by closely held company in respect of any sum credited as share application money or share capital or share premium or any such amount in the account of such company shall be deemed to be not satisfactory if the resident person in whose name such credit is recorded in the books of such company also not explain about the nature and the source of such sum, or the explanation is not satisfactory. Now this additional condition that loan as well as the share application, will not apply if the person in whose name is sum is recorded is a venture capital fund or venture capital company registered with the SEBI. So suppose if you got the as a loan or as a share application from the venture capital company, venture capital fund, then this particular section is not applicable. Done. Now guys, there is a one section 69. 69 says that unexplained investment. Suppose if you made some investment and that investment are not recorded in the books of accounts, means in the books of accounts you have not recorded that investment. You made the investment, but you not recorded in the books of accounts, and department got to know that you made the investment. They will ask you from where you got this money. And if you're not able to explain, means if you're not able to explain the source or your explanation is not satisfactory, then it will be treated as income, means whatever the investment value will be treated as income. For an example, in the current year, Nidhi purchased the share of the Reliance of the 2 crore. Now Nidhi has not recorded in the books of accounts and all. Department just got to know that Nidhi purchased the share of 2 crore because investment is made by Nidhi. They asked to the Nidhi, Nidhi, from where you got this 2 crore? Nidhi is not able to explain that. Then this 2 crore will be treated as deemed income in hands of Nidhi. Or suppose Meghna constructed one house in the Kerala. Meghna constructed one house in the Kerala, in the beautiful city, and Meghna spent suppose 5 crore for the construction of house. So there is a one investment is made in the house. They ask you from where you got this money. You are not able to explain. Then guys, this will be treated as your income. So here if investment is made, any investment is made here about investment. If any investment is made, so here wherein any previous year assessee has made the investment means just remember Reliance share is purchased by the Nidhi. So Reliance share is purchased by the Nidhi and which are not recorded in the books of accounts. And the assessee offered no explanation about the nature and source of investment, or explanation is not satisfactory in the opinion of assessing officer. The value of investment are taxed as a deemed income of the assessee for that previous year. You got my point or not? Yes. Now guys, just take a break for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, we will start with the next part.